Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain world, the On the Chain family? Good to see everybody.
Yeah.
Give a quick shout out where you're coming in from as you come in, because we're all very curious and interested what part of the world you're in and how late you're staying up to watch the show and hang out with all the people.
Too soon?
My rant, it's
Too soon, okay.
starting my rant. We haven't even started.
All right, too soon.
My rant starts now. Here's the big question. Is Ripple and XRP's future secured? Is your future secured if you're invested in XRP? I don't know. SEC deal. There's a deal with the SEC. What's going on with that? Crypto custody, the US market, lots going on. I was going to name the title here. If you invested 10,000 in XRP or Palantir, where would you be today? If you invested back at the IPO of Palantir, how much more money would you have today if you invested in Palantir than
I wish
XRP?
I bought the dip. When it dipped to $5 a couple months ago.
That would have been nice.
Would have been nice, indeed.
Would have been nice. How much would you have had if you invested 10,000 in Bitcoin back in 2017 versus XRP?
Or what if you bought Bitcoin in 2013 at $200 and something, but then sold it at 800?
And
bad choice.
XRP
Bad choice.
at 0.006.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of other good things out there to still buy.
What if?
Window.
You can't live in what if. You can't live in the what if scenarios. That's why those types of things drive me crazy. What if you invested $1,000 20 years ago in whatever? Well, I didn't. Let's move on.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. You ready to go?
When you invest all that money in the time machine to let us go back and teleport back to whatever period of time to do that, let me know, wake me up, and I'll go do it.
Which open do you want? Hey, or do you want let's go?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's called Cookie Monster Rock. Want my cookies?
That one person gave it to me. We don't even know these people. Who are all these people in the chat?
We know everybody. We know everyone.
Who are all these strange names?
We know every one of them. Come on. There's nobody new.
If frogs had wings, they wouldn't bump their ass so much.
Okay. Susan Chippy's here. Love that last name. Chippy. Feeling chipper. Chippy's feeling chipper today. That's for sure. That is for absolutely sure. Well, let's get to it, Jeff. Let's get to these stories. Everybody already knows this, but I think it's good to cover it.
Johnny 10X.
I think it's good to cover. Let's go into, so Stu Alderati said, the final crossing of the T's, dotting the I's. What should be the last update on the SEC v. Ripple ever, ... Last week, the SEC agreed to drop its appeal without conditions. Ripple has now agreed to drop its cross appeal. The SEC will keep $50 million of the $125 million fine, already in an interest-bearing escrow in cash, with the balance returned to Ripple. So in a weird way, they're getting $75 million back.
True, in a direct way.
Yeah, and it could be the headline.
No interest.
The SEC returned $75 million of Ripple money from the escrow. They kept 50 of it, but this is how you spin headlines. And it said the agency will also ask the court to lift the standard injunction that was imposed earlier at the SEC's request, all subject to commission vote, drafting of final documents, and the usual court processes. That's all, folks. That's all, folks, says Porky Pig. Fred Rispoli says, can somebody, Ellie Terrett, please reach out to all the attorneys at SEC that spend thousands of hours in this case and ask them how it feels to have all that hard work, stress, time away from family, friends, and leisure wiped out in an instant?
How do you get that back?
Well, how about if you ask Fred, I got a better question for you. How about if you ask the XRP holders that saw $16 billion be erased from their 401ks and everything else? How'd you like that? I mean, that's the bigger question to ask. I mean, if you think about it.
So what does the SEC get to do with the $50 million they get?
I don't know what they do with it.
Do they give it to Gary Gensler? Does he get it?
Will it go in the other reserve, right? It could potentially go in that other reserve.
Oh, could go into the reserve.
I
That'd
don't
be
know
a
how it works.
nice
Like,
donation to the cause. Put it into the strategic reserve.
yeah, so Fred also chimed in on this too. He said, updated SEC v Ripple timeline. With the announcement by Stu Alderati, you better believe the paperwork has been drawn up already. Now we wait on a vote by the SEC Commission. Should be less than 30 days. And then we wait on the filing by the SEC to lift the injunction, which will be unopposed by Ripple. Judge Torres will sign off on it less than 30 days from motion filing. And at most, we're 60 days out from this being 100% formally, legally, and spectacularly over. And everybody's going to pretend, Jeff. Here's like everyone's pretending like, whoa, this is great. And the SEC and the this and that, blah, blah. Listen, none of this happens without Trump going into the White House. None of it exists. As a matter of fact, they would have doubled down on stupid and doubled down on being like more aggressive with crypto. And choke point, 3 and 4 and 5.0, it would have got more aggressive and it wouldn't have been a good look anyway. So really all of this is, I mean, what Trump was inaugurated on the 20th of January. It's now the 26th. So you're talking about 65, 66 days, 67 days. I don't know if there's like I mean, you're, less than 70 days. Look at what's happened. It's insanely incredible. And SEC's backed off, which is wild to me. Thanks, Fred. Soon it'll be time for the XRP army to rise again. And people are like, well, how come the Ripples, when the Ripple SEC thing, the price didn't go up? Well, you want to know why? Because it doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because Ripple is a centralized company that had a spat with the SEC. But what was important was July 13th, 2023, when it was announced that XRP is not a security. That's all that matters. Anybody thinking price would have changed or there'll be some price action. Now, when the crypto legislation comes out, that's when you can cue the bull run. That's when there's going to be a change. That's when you're going to rev your engines. Gentlemen, start your engines. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's when you're going to start the engines. And I don't know, 3 to 6 months, it looks like this new crypto, this new bill that got some modifications, which we'll talk about here. But it looks like that's going to finally make it to the vote on the Senate. We'll see.
That's right.
Legislation moves slow. Badass Yetis, Yeti. Badass Yetis. That's some great stuff, man. And we can't get fined for it, Jeff, because it's our music.
No, it is our music.
It's our AI music.
Every part of it.
I like it in the background. Badass Yetis.
It's cool. Turn it down low. That could be the song the whole show. I'm sure people get annoyed after a while. Just on repeat.
Badass Yetis.
I'm gonna tune it down like that. There you go.
Here we go. So
background
Ripple.
music.
Keep it down. Let's see how that works out. We got to try something up. What up? XRP rocks. What's up? Long time. How you doing? Chad is in here. What's up? Mike Marath, of course. John Doe, of course. Go after yourself. I was laughing so hard at John Doe's crypto, some of his posts earlier, because he's been signing them all with the GFY, which is go after yourself. And I like it. It's got a little bit of oomph. It's got a little bit of fun. It's a little good there. So Ripple custody isn't about stores. They just posted this on X. It's about security, compliance, and control. This is key right here. These 3 words right here, because custody, yeah, okay, but security and compliance is kind of really the key with custody, especially at an institutional level. Institutional adoption accelerates choosing the right custody. Solution is the key. So learn why Ripple custody is trusted by banks, global banks, institutional grade protection. I still would laugh, Jeff, so hard if Ripple became the custody partner of the U.S. government and is handling the custody of the Bitcoin reserve.
That would be very interesting to see, to say the least. It is possible, though. Anything's possible in this world of chaos.
I mean, of course, it's always possible. The importance of security.
Be very cool.
Wide range of asset management.
Securing your funds. Can they secure your funds through their...
This one nails it all. The consequences of inadequate protection can be catastrophic. The recent Bybit exchange hack resulted in 1.46 billion stolen digital assets. Yikes. Making it the largest hack in crypto history. A chain analysis breakdown of the case revealed that the hackers used social engineering to gain access to key computers. That's sad in a lot of ways. These risks can be exacerbated by the popularity of new tokenized financial products like crypto ETFs that present additional considerations for custody providers. I mean, there's only a few people that are really, there's like maybe 5 people you can count on one hand that can really handle the custody, Ripple being one of them. There's some other ones out there as well. Potential risks of the custody. No matter how strong the provider's security practices are on the tech side, human error will always be a risk in both traditional and decentralized finance, Jeff. And that's why I get freaked out, because damn knows if I've sent an email and I've checked it 3 times and I hit send and I'm like, no, how is that in there? I scheduled a meeting this week and I had pinged the person on Slack and I'm like, hey, you're good. You're down for, sorry for putting a 4 o'clock meeting on Friday, but that's when everybody was available. I'm sorry about that. And she's like, I don't have it on my calendar. So I go back and look at it. I invited a different person from another company. And I was like, how in the hell? Yeah. Okay. Granted, they have the, sometimes you type the first couple letters and it's a name that's not a popular, not a common name, which is probably why I said, oh yeah, that's it. And I was like, oh, I see. Like this stuff happens, Jeff. Like you make mistakes. It happens
all the time.
You check stuff. Now imagine you make the mistake and it's going to cost you, $100,000 or millions of dollars. That's what gets me a little triggered. If I'm going to be honest.
We do live on autopilot.
We do.
I was in an email. There was an email group or, an email that went out to a group. And somebody else was in this email. I'm like, I don't know, maybe he added them for a reason. So finally, the person said, "Who are you people?
And why are you emailing me?
Why do you have me in this email? Please take me out of this email. I don't know any of you." That was the funniest part, is that the first person who sent the email had added him, and he still didn't even know. Funny. He had no idea who he was, and it was completely like not even in the industry. So it's even funnier.
That is so wild, Jeff. My God.
That was the first. I've seen when you add the wrong person or you add stuff you didn't mean to add it.
Yeah, well,
like today I did that. I had a conversation with them. We were debating between April 2nd and April 3rd. We realized April 2nd was the date, but I still had April 3rd in my mind. So I scheduled it for April 2nd, wrote the email and said, I look forward to seeing you on April 3rd. This is in regards to our meeting on April 3rd. And I ended the email with April 3rd. And I realized after I hit send, I'm like, son of a bitch. I just said April 3rd 3 times in the email. And so I send him another email and say, I just want to reconfirm it's April 2nd and not April 3rd. But I had April 3rd on the brain because of our conversation.
That's a Tuesday, by the way. You were thinking of Wednesday. You had put Wednesday on there. I know. This is
autopilot.
I'm telling you, this is like the bane of my existence where this kind of stuff happens. By the way, mine's on a timer for like 45 seconds. And then I'm always so angry. I'm like, just go already. And I'm like, all right, should I check it again? Should I check it one more time? All right, cancel. And I check it one more time.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But I did that last week where I go, let me just double check. And I found an error. I'm like, oh brother, it's just, I don't know. It's like, you got to get everything right. You got to say the right thing. Now, one time I mixed up the dates. Like I put Thursday's dates as Wednesday and Wednesday's as Thursday. I had the days right, but I had the days wrong. And they're like, so if we meet on Wednesday, it's really this date, but not that date. I'm like, yeah, that was an error. Whatever.
Yep. Man, I'm doing everything I can to get an AI agent to do all my bidding.
Well,
I would much rather have an AI agent.
By the way, ChatGPT screwed that up. I'll always put it, if they're Central Time, I'll put it in their time zone. And one time I converted it from like Eastern Time to Central or like Mountain Time, and it screwed it up. And it did something weird, and I didn't check it. I just copied and pasted it. And they're like, what's with the dates? And I'm like, oh shit, it did something really weird there. I go, it's usually spot on, but every once in a while.
Yeah, by the way, I'm not writing my own emails.
By the way, look at Henry. Look at Henry's all over this. Henry pops in and he's already with the Yeti. Good man. All right. Speaking of which, you just reminded me to start collecting Yeah. All right. Let me see how many we got. We got 2. Henry's one of them. Beautiful. Beautiful.
For all the people.
How about Osmond says, how about the release? How would the release of the rest of the 52 billion XRP supply, and how many years would that take? And also, do you think these guys would burn a small part of the remaining supply? I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to. By the way, somebody tried that.
They'll never release it.
Somebody burned half of the supply. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
XLM. They like, let's burn
started with an X and ended with an M.
Yeah. They
an L in the middle.
Yeah, those guys. They're like, and the price tanked. I think the price went down a little bit. But it's not even 52 million. I think it's like 47 billion at this point.
Yeah. So remember, they take out every month. There's an auto release. Whatever they don't use, it was on a 55-month schedule, and so whatever they put back goes to the 56th month, or so. There's always like a 55-month cycle, or it goes to 55th, whatever. So they're always putting that money, whatever's unused goes back, and then it cycles again. So if they only use like 100 million, then the rest goes back into the cycle and recycle. So it'd be a long time. That's really interesting.
Jim
Unless
said,
they take it all out.
He answered it too, that they went that route. Nothing happened. As is, XRP only enough is minted for all the planet to have 14 XRP. And every time, eventually, even burning it at some point, it's gonna lessen the supply. It'll take a while. I mean, I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. But there was 100 billion minted for a reason. So yeah, Lloyd's excited. Lloyd's on the live. He's got the Yeti in tow. This is beautiful.
Lloyd.
I was having fun just throwing up different things up there. All right, so now let's think about. By the way, speaking of adding the wrong thing to now, when you add, this whole thing with the Trump thing where they want Pete Hegseth gone. Hey, Blackjack Larry. Yeah. Blackjack Larry. Badass Yetis. Blackjack Larry.
I'm gonna start making some of those as people come in.
On the chain, Lloyd Mitchell. On the chain, Jim D.
Oh, you know what?
On the chain, XRP Plumbing. Can you imagine that? On the chain, Chad Nauseum.
We'll start doing that.
So this is interesting, Jeff. So the guy that added to the Signal group.
Good evening.
Good evening. This whole thing about they had a whole hearing, and you were about the Houthis, and were you guys putting up classified data, and Tulsi Gabbard was there. They were all like, coming out, you guys should be fired, right? Whatever. So it turns out, Jeff, the guy that actually did it is an ex-Cheney guy, aide Michael Waltz. Look at this guy.
Holy shit. Like, let's not do that. That's a bad idea.
Very bad idea.
Holy shit. Like, let's.
Now Trump's a national security advisor who accidentally leaked to the Atlantic shows that he's contributed $8,150 to Never Trumpers and $0 to Trump. Mitt Romney gave him $5,000. John McCain $450. Jeb Bush $2,700. Donald Trump $0. Here's tells you everything you need to know. Ex-Cheney aide Michael Waltz. Now this guy should just fall on the sword and say there was a dumb thing to do. We know it was probably on purpose, but dumb thing to do. He should go, or he should be fired, because he's the one that added. And who randomly adds somebody from the Atlantic who hates and despises Trump more than almost anybody else, right? It just doesn't smell good. There's something really weird. Speaking of, and I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, did somebody how would that person get added? Like, it doesn't make sense that person would be in a group, but it just seems all.
Just like we were just talking about, accidentally putting people into emails.
Yeah, he accidentally gave money to Romney, McCain, and Bush, but accidentally forgot to give it to Trump. And he accidentally happened to be an ex-Cheney aide who also is a Trump. It's just, I don't know. Something smells rotten in Denmark, as they say. I don't know where that saying came from or why they say it, but that's what they say.
Something is rotten in Denmark, Chip.
I knew it. The whole show. People are going to go to sleep with that badass Yetis on their brain, right? Today, Brad Garlinghouse.
Not my fault.
He said, as I said on Mornings with Maria, I strongly believe we're underestimating what it means to unlock the U.S. market through upcoming crypto legislation, as well as previous guidance statements rescinded from the SEC, the OCC, allowing financial institutions to work with crypto. With 4+ years of headwinds behind us, the U.S. is ready to reclaim the leadership position. And here we are. We can always do we? This is a new one. I don't think we played this one yet. It's a brand new one.
That is a new one. Sweet.
But you know what that means? That means there's going to be a commercial. Oh no,
have a commercial.
Maybe I already played it. Yeah, so there we go. It means I got to stop what I'm doing.
Don't panic.
Reshare.
The ferret is late, but is now in the building.
All right. Well, that's good news for all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit share. I'm going to share it from here.
Come on, Chad. Chad has now ruined it for everybody.
Damn, that's not right. Damn. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's listen in. Here we go.
Welcome back. Let's check crypto prices this morning. Take a look. They're higher across the board. The Securities and Exchange Commission has ended its investigation into crypto exchange.
Litecoin. Sweet.
Latest,
$93.
of several deregulation actions by the Trump administration in the digital asset sector. Joining me now is the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, back with us. Brad, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be back. Nice to see you.
Well, congrats on this move by the SEC. What does this enable you to do at this point?
Look, thank you. Congrats to, I think, the whole industry in a bunch of ways. As you know well, Ripple is really amongst the very first crypto companies get sued by the SEC. We said then when it started that the SEC was going to be on the wrong side of the law as well as on the wrong side of history. It took longer than we would have liked to kind of prove that out, and more than $150 million of legal bills, but we're thrilled with the ultimate outcome. It allows us to really unlock the U.S. market,
buy more Lambos,
which has really been very hostile, with a lot of headwinds in the U.S. market for the whole crypto industry.
Yeah, for sure, and we saw investors react to it, XRP seeing a gain over the last week. But Brad, I want to get your take on what Japanese banks may be preparing to do in terms of adopting XRP. What can you tell us about the growth story at Ripple when you look across the world, overseas markets?
Well, once the United States government filed suit, we really were kind of frozen in the U.S. market. And so about 95% of our customers today, Ripple's customers, are non-U.S. financial institutions. And those are some of the largest financial institutions, ranging from HSBC and BBVA to payment providers you wouldn't necessarily have heard of. Markets like Japan, I think, are still unlocking. The market opportunity here is massive. You have trillions of dollars flowing cross-border globally. It's still largely dominated by the SWIFT network, if you will. And
I'm sorry, Jeff, if you got the CEO of Ripple and the digital asset they use, you can at least be kind and put up XRP. I mean, well, dude, does anybody even talk about Litecoin anymore? Like, I'm still shocked that it's still around.
We talk about it every time we play one of these.
That's the only time, but there's no other time. I mean, it's like the only time we talk about it is we put this. You can't even put. You know what it is? They have that same screen. It must auto-populate that. The prices, or maybe some guy inputs.
They have to go make another one. It's too expensive,
man. And Litecoin's not even in the top 10. At least put something else that's in the top 10. Jeff, where do you think Litecoin falls? It's not in the top 10. Like, where is it? 15, 20?
Everybody put their guess in. Put your guess in.
We'll
put your guess in. Everyone guess at where you think Litecoin is. And
where do you think? No cheating, anybody. No cheating. But I know it's not in the top 10. That much I'm pretty sure about.
Okay, I already looked, so not fair. I can't.
It's not in the top 10. You can confirm that, though.
It's definitely not in the top 10.
Okay.
It's not in the top 10.
Okay, so we got Henry says 56. 18. All right, number 20. Got a number 20 in there. Top 75. Top 75 would be right.
75. Let's narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah, let's get a little bit closer on that. We got to get a little bit closer. 37 says Zober.
Getting closer.
Getting closer. I think it's going to come down. I don't know. I'm thinking this is probably somewhere between there and here is what I'm thinking. 18 and 37. That's what I'm thinking.
We're ready? All right.
19.
Let's put it this way. It's not in the top 20.
Top 40? What about top 40? XRP Plumbing's playing with the numbers. It's like the Price is Right. Like, get as close as you can without going over. So he's like, top 40 is right in there.
Okay. Here we go.
32. Mike says 32.
It's in the top 30.
All right. So we 32 might be right.
12.
Let's see who gets closest
32.
without
in
going
the
over.
top 30, so it's not 32.
Okay. Then that means 22 might be the closest without going over.
It's in the top 24.
Okay, so it's 24.
It's 24.
It's 24. Johnny.
It's not number 3.
Johnny wins. Closest without going over. It was pretty good, but we got
Not number 3.
King came in after though. That was
How
later.
much stuff is in between it? Polkadot, Hedera, Sui. Why not put the SHIB? Put Shiba
Yeah,
Inu.
at least
up there.
it looks
I would love to
cool.
put Shiba Inu would be kick
Why not
ass.
Stellar? Why not Leo token? Why not Avalanche?
What is Leo?
I don't know. I know Chainlink wrapped Bitcoin.
What is Toncoin?
I don't even know what Toncoin is. I know Tron. I know Cardano. There we are. Tron,
I can't believe
Doge.
Tron's still around. How is Tron in the top 10 still? Man?
It's market cap. People own a lot. I was shocked too.
I know. I'm shocked.
Look at Solana's number 6. There we go.
XRP 4. Get rid of Tether, and then
honestly, do you really want to have should stable coins be in? Then
they
no.
should not.
You need a separate stable coin market
Yeah.
cap. Stable coins do not belong in the crypto market cap. Sorry.
They should have their own market cap. Their own listing. That's all. Leo is in Thailand.
Leo's a beer in Thailand?
Oh, it's a beer. I thought Leo was in Thailand.
No, Leo. Leo's a beer in Thailand. So if you drink Leo, that's a beer if you're in Thailand. So there you go. There it is. All right. Let's go back to Garlinghouse. Squirrel. We got sidetracked, but it just drives me crazy that Litecoin's always up there. Anyway.
That's architecture. That's a technology architecture that's developed 50 years ago. There's an opportunity to modernize. That takes time, particularly when you have a government in the U.S. kind of combating that innovation. But that's changing now. The Trump effect, if you will, is profound. You're seeing that in asset prices, but you're also going to see that in the adoption of these technologies.
Yeah, and I think so. When you're looking at the growth story then of Ripple, does it still come from overseas? Or are you expecting a change in terms of domestic interest in Ripple?
Well, we're definitely already seeing a change in the domestic interest. The 6 weeks after President Trump was elected, we signed more deals in the United States than we had in the previous 6 months.
2 times.
So these are very innovative technologies. I think they're going to play out over 10, even 20 years in terms of how they integrate and rewire the financial infrastructure of the United States. That's across payments. That's across even the settlement of maybe real estate transactions, securities transactions. So I think we're going to see this play out over a long arc. But then the United States is finally unlocked, and I think people are underestimating how big that change is, and you'll see that continue to play out this year.
Yeah. Now, President Trump spoke at the Digital Asset Summit in New York City last week. Here's a clip. Watch.
Pioneers like you will be able to improve our banking and payment system and promote greater privacy, safety, security, and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. You will unleash an explosion of economic growth, and with the dollar-backed stablecoins, you'll help expand the dominance of the U.S. dollar. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country. And it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. It's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA. Together, we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world.
That's right.
And the president signed 2 executive orders as part of his pro-crypto agenda, including strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology and establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and U.S. digital asset stockpile. Brad, give us your outlook and really what those 2 executive orders may do. What else do you need to see in order to see stability and growth out of
crypto
digital
legislation?
Assets?
Well, look, in terms of what else we need to see, I think what the president has already done is he has used the expression, promises made, promises delivered. The unlock for U.S. financial institutions is absolutely happening. Banks that were really hesitant and really nervous about touching crypto technologies or even helping their customers, those banks and those financial institutions are leaning in now. And that's a big deal for sure, not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. So he has certainly lived up, and I think we will see the U.S. finally start to catch up with the leadership we're seeing from other markets around the world that they've really taken the lead, and we need to invest here and see some of these U.S. companies thrive.
Yeah, and we've spoken with the regulators about this. We spoke with Cynthia Loomis 2 weeks ago and
She's a
last week
regulator?
with French Hill as they
Regulator.
craft a
Regulators.
regulatory
I don't know.
framework. What's most important to you in terms of the regulation part of this? Let me run this. Cynthia Loomis and French Hill with us just in the last 2 weeks. Here's what they said about regulation. Watch.
Bitcoin is a commodity, so it will be regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
Correct.
Some other cryptocurrencies look more like a security
Incorrect.
and should fall under the
Incorrect.
disclosure
Bitcoin
requirements
Maxi.
at the SEC. So part of what we want to do is guide.
You gotta. Somebody in her office needs to shake her. They need to strap her down and water torture her because Jeff, how dumb can you get? Does she not understand the concept of decentralization? She she hears talking points from 20 years ago. Well, not that long ago. And she keeps saying the same thing over and over again. Now, some cryptos are, no, they're all commodities. And if you don't understand how decentralization works, then maybe you shouldn't be, rehab. But it's not stopped from her. She's like, do you remember when she thought Gensler was doing a great job? Her and the other nut job from,
who was it? Who was the other one?
Klobuchar. It was her and Klobuchar. They were like on TV together. Like, he's doing a fantastic job. Like, they're so out of touch. They don't know what's going on. And they have a staff that's usually pretty young and can kind of clue them in. But I don't think they want to know. It's the same way as you get these talking heads from Congress. Democrats get on there and start talking about democracy. And they're like, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. People are like, well, what's the difference? Well, there's a huge difference. Democracies, how do they always end up? Always end up as dictatorships. A republic is not going to go the route of that. There are no other constitutional republics on the face of the earth, but they love democracy. As a matter of fact, Democrats would love to have a democracy. Why? Well, because then you have centralized control and you can do all the great things and become a dictator. It's true. So anyway, yeah, centralized control versus, decentralized control. Sorry, I just had to have it. She drives me insane with her rhetoric.
What is a commodity and what is a security, and provide that kind of clarity in the law so we can let agencies know who has jurisdiction over what.
That's true.
A big developed country like the United States,
like 5
we
years
already
ago?
have many ways to instantaneously pay for things. And this wouldn't be top of mind, but it will be lower cost in foreign markets. You have, you reduce the cost of foreign exchange, you reduce the cost of fees across borders. And so in some countries where they have an unstable currency, a weak banking system, not a very good payment system, a smartphone app with a digital wallet with a dollar-backed stablecoin is a good way, even at retail, to do a transaction.
Brad, what's most important for the regulators to understand as they create this new framework for digital assets?
Well, look, the good news is people like Congressman Hill, they do understand. They understand how important it is for these technologies to thrive here in the U.S., and they have started to architect bills to help enable that. I very much agree with Senator Loomis. It can't just be, executive orders. It needs to be codified with legislative efforts by Congress. We're seeing a lot of forward movement. A stablecoin bill is already going through markup, and I think we'll see that come to a vote in the next 4 to 8 weeks. There's the second one that Senator Loomis also talked about was what we often call a market structure bill, providing clarity that we've been asking for as an industry as to how will these technologies, these tokens be regulated. Are they commodities? Are they securities? XRP was deemed to be a commodity or not a security by a federal judge, which is the opposite of what the SEC had said. So to see the SEC really combat lawfare and to attack this industry and now have leaders like Senator Loomis and really heroic leadership from Congressman Hill, I think it's going to make all the difference in the world. And I think we're going to see both a market structure bill and a stablecoin bill pass in the next 6 months.
So what does that mean for Ripple?
I like that.
Well, it means the clarity we have been asking. And Maria, you and I have talked this probably over the years, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times, to get that regulatory clarity so that the customers we engage know they can engage in good faith and to use these technologies without fear of regulators coming in and attacking them. That's a big deal. And that will allow this innovation, allow more job creation, more innovation, and frankly, capital formation here in the United States.
Understood. Brad, it's great to catch up with you. Thanks so much.
Man, Brad Garlinghouse crushing it.
You got to love that interview. You know what I noticed in that interview? He named Trump twice by name and once as president, and he, referring to him many, many times. Now, the ones that called it, you and I said that Brad was MAGA all the way. We called it. We put our thinking caps on. We showed some evidence 6-8 months before the election, and people thought we were crazy. And somebody even pinged me and said, "This is the dumbest thumbnail ever. This is not true." I'm like, well, let's wait and see. And surely, Jeff.
And what do you know?
What do you know? What do you know? What do you absolutely know? Damn, the badass Yetis live. They live. So John Deaton is on another quest, Jeff. You know what that quest is?
Man, it's going to be interesting because there's definitely some legal concerns going on right now.
Go ahead, take that one, Jeff. Can you read that one?
This one's actually something that you and I talked about, and we were talking right before the show. There was someone employed over at Linqto, and he blew the whistle. He was a whistleblower. Came out, said there's some things that were a little fishy going on, and I think he was a CFO, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what.
I think it was a CMO or CMO, Chief Marketing Officer.
I think it was somewhere in those, in one of those. But anyhow, so he left within a short period of time being there, and he came out and said, "I'm just not comfortable. Here's the problems that I saw. Let it be. You know, this is what's going on." So we talked about it. There were a lot of people that within the ecosystem that attacked him, went after him, and they tried to prop up Linqto. Now John Deaton coming out with his tweet saying Linqto hasn't even responded to his emails. He's got several emails and DMs from folks who are understandably concerned and pissed off about the lack of communication. There's obviously some major issues going on over at Linqto, even during the time at Celsius, when Celsius was going through all that turmoil. They were very communicative for a while. Here, they just dropped off on communication. Many Linqto customers, me included, this is John Deaton's post, joined the XRP class against the SEC in the Ripple case and provided several of the affidavits I submitted to court. This Thursday, March 27th at 6 p.m., I'll hold a Zoom meeting to discuss what's likely happening as well as organize. So here we go. John Deaton is getting ready, just like he got ready against the SEC. He's starting to organize all these people that are pissed off in this Linqto situation. We fought together once before. We'll fight together again. Email my office or DM me if you want the Zoom link, only if you're a Linqto customer. So John Deaton did a tremendous job, filing intervention on behalf of all the XRP holders. There were 70, 80,000 that joined in to that action against the SEC. And you and I talked about it quite a bit, that but for that action that John Deaton took, there's a good chance that there wouldn't have been the same outcome that we saw with this case. And so when the community got together, probably the first time in history that 70, 80,000 people came together to attack the SEC, because the SEC was practicing, steeped in lawfare, attacking the people. And they came out in court document attacking holders of XRP. There were statements that we read that said these people weren't technically savvy, or just unintelligent. There was some really, horrible things that were said, plus what they did with Ripple without a care in the world, and then Gary Gensler would parade around and say how clear everything was. But now, here we go with this Linqto action, and John Deaton's going to be at the helm. The one thing that they don't want to do is remain completely silent, over this situation.
Look at that, Jeff. Broadcasting
super
live.
Problematic. Look at that.
Broadcasting
I didn't
live.
even know. I didn't even know we were broadcasting live. Look at that.
We're
just talking amongst ourselves.
How about that? So here's what's funny. This guy, Frey Daddy, gets, hey, John Deaton, I got this reply from Linqto. I have no idea what they're saying. Can you explain it to me, please? He says it was undoubtedly written by a lawyer from Sullivan and Cromwell, which Linqto hired. It reads through your pre-IPO shares that have been identified and confirmed by new management, but too vague to say one way or the other. Based on this email, it suggests that bankruptcy is not imminent, but then again, it's intentionally vague, proving it was written by a lawyer. As I've said publicly, I'm a Linqto customer and investor, and I've asked for a call to learn more, but so far my requests have gone, well, they completely got rid of all the original crew. It's all new. The founder, anybody associated with the company brought a whole new crew in, right? That's already a pretty big red flag. But some of the charges were, and again, like this is something that the SEC should be invested in. This is the kind of thing that they should be investigating, because you have securities here. You've got these shares in pre-IPO shares, and the fact that they're charged with, and again, they're allegations at this point. Nobody's saying that this is true or not. We're certainly not saying it. We're saying that some of the allegations talk a little bit about, some of the marketing that people would come in a lower tier and they keep trying to pump it up. The next time they came in, unaccredited investors could invest. There was a lot of that going on. Supposedly you're supposed to be an accredited investor, but again, at this point, they're just all allegations. He said, as soon as I know more, I'll let folks know. But it's good that he's organizing. And it's even somebody like John Deaton who's like, wait a minute, what? He was an investor in the company and also invested in Linqto. And Jeff, you and I were asked several times to become I don't know what they called it, but basically become the sponsor, and they pay you money and you just talk about. And some of those influencers out there did it. They decided to do it. But what's weird now is, like, now that all this is going on, you don't really hear much about it, right? I noticed the Linqto is no longer going to be at XRP Vegas, which I guess makes sense. They took the logo off the website.
Probably be bad if they
probably not a good look to have Linqto show up. And who would it be from Linqto? Probably not anybody of the original people.
Not
anyways.
at this point. Yeah, no, it'd be way too difficult.
Yeah, I mean, so in the House introduced some revised stablecoin legislation with compliance measures and developer protection. This March 26th version of the Stable Act expands the rules drafted in the February version. Let's see, new provisions. So this version introduces several new substantive changes compared to the original February one. So the updated bill explicitly excludes various financial products such as securities, deposits, and credit union accounts from the definition of payment stablecoin. This exclusion gives developers and institutions greater legal clarity on what qualifies under the act. The new draft mandates monthly reserve attestations verified by registered public accounting firms and requires chief executive and financial officers to certify the accuracy of those reports. Knowingly submitting false certifications may result in criminal penalties up to $1 million in fines or 10 years in prison. These certification provisions were not present in the February version. So they got some stakes. Like if you cross the line, do some fraud, you're going to jail. Or you're getting fined. Further updates include detailed procedures for reviewing and approving new stablecoin issuers. The revised draft also imposes decision deadlines for federal regulators, offers formal appeal rights, and allows applicants to reapply following a denial. Regulators must also submit annual reports to Congress on the timing of pending applications. Representative Bill, hang on a second, let me get rid of this. How do you get rid of this? I don't think you can. Okay.
That's how they do you.
That's how they do you. That's
you can say, you click no thanks.
There we go. There it is. I think I was done. I was reading the last sentence.
You're done anyways.
I was reading the last sentence. So there you go. That's that one right there. We got.
Well, time for a commercial break.
Let's do a commercial break. Do it.
All right.
This one's gonna be time to claim your own legendary badass yetis on the blue tribe. This one from the clan, his name is Isaac. On the chain, badass yetis. Let's go.
Badass yetis. Well, he sounds angry, dude.
That one does. That guy sounds a bit angry.
He sounds mad. He's very mad. Come on, guys. We only have 13 Yetis. We have a 1 in 13 chance right now to win a badass Yeti. If you haven't typed Yeti, go ahead. Go ahead. Type in that, please. Yeah. Come on, badasses.
Reforged. I just saw the future. I'm winning this one, aka rigged.
Ay. Come on now. Come on. Come on. We have plenty of. Can't do badass Yetis. It's got to be Yeti, just singular, to be picked up.
But it might pick it up in the Yeti.
It might, but I would just type Yeti just to be sure. It only picks it up once. You do it multiple times. Doesn't matter.
That's it.
Reborn John. Watch Reborn John win and be like, it's rigged. I won. I knew it. This is BS. I knew it. Jeff,
and there he is right there.
Look at that right there. He's about ready to take off with that rocket.
Right.
Man, look at that. Check this out. This is more nonsense that's going on at the government level. I thought this would be good. Yeah.
Not going to believe what we just found. Behind a door at USDA, we found a whole box of these seeds. And listen, we love seeds here at USDA, but check these out. These are specific tomato seeds that are for growing diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility at USDA. I mean, look at these. If you can be anything, be inclusive at USDA.
What the hell?
America, this is what we're fighting here in Washington, D.C. This is why we are completely working to realign under President Trump's vision our entire government about returning power to the people, about ensuring that we're putting Americans first, and that we really are going to make America great again. And no longer will we spend tax dollars on diversity, equity, inclusion at USDA.
That is some wicked stuff. So here's
the problem is what's in those seeds.
Well, I don't know. They're probably just regular tomato seeds.
Genetically engineer those seeds.
Could be some weird stuff in there too, Jeff. Maybe it's like it's so diverse. It's like a tomato cucumber. It's like a mix. Who knows what it is?
How cool would that be if you had a tomato cucumber mix?
That's what it is. Some engineer in a lab seed. Here's a reporter. Listen how snippy she is. She's asking David Sachs. She's asking him, who's the crypto and AI czar, about why we need a Bitcoin reserve. Listen to his answer.
Remind the American public and investors why you need a Bitcoin reserve at all.
Jeez, snippy.
Well, good to be here. I mean, the reason why we need a Bitcoin reserve is that the federal government already owns some. In fact, it obtained around 400,000 Bitcoin over the past decade through criminal and civil forfeitures and seizures. And so the government has to have a strategy for how it deals with this. In the past, the strategy has been simply to sell it, in an ad hoc way, almost willy-nilly. And that cost American taxpayers something like $17 billion in lost value. So we want to have a long-term strategy to maximize the value of these holdings. And we've decided that Bitcoin is scarce, it's valuable, and that it's strategic for the United States to hold on to this as a long-term reserve asset. So that's the plan with the 200,000 Bitcoin that we believe are in the possession of the federal government. I say we believe because no one really knows for sure because we never had a proper audit. So that's one of the first things that this executive order provides, that we're going to do a full government-wide audit to find out what digital assets we actually have so they can be safeguarded and moved into.
Yeah, what do you think happened to the keys for those supposed Bitcoin? And I mean, but just the way she answers
a strategy that maximizes.
Listen to the way she answers the question. Very hostile, the way she's asking this.
Remind the American public and investors why you need a Bitcoin reserve at all.
Who are you? You're a reporter. Just ask it in a nice way. Hi, David. Yeah. Welcome to the show. And I love when he goes, look, he's already smiling. Look at him. Yeah. He's already like, oh boy, here we go. And listen to what he says.
Well, good to be here.
Good to be here. Thank you for the warm welcome. Hey, David, welcome to the show. Just out of curiosity, just wondering, so what is the idea behind the Bitcoin?
Remind the American public and investors why you need a Bitcoin reserve at all.
Why do you need it all? It's all, David. What? It's all, David. What do we need it? What's it all? And with the head shaking, the hostile thing. Holy cow. He's smiling right there. It's insane.
Hopefully they didn't lose their key to their Nano.
Oh my good Lord.
Imagine they have a hard drive. They have a hard drive with 200,000 Bitcoin sitting on it and they don't have access to it.
See, this is the story we haven't heard about, Jeff, but you can imagine that probably some of that's going on too. Do you think? I mean, I would probably think there's some of that going on. Who knows? Anyway, so I wanted to play this one too. This is Christy Noem, and she went down to visit El Salvador, and she stopped by the prison. And look at the backdrop of the prisoners behind her. This is fantastic, Jeff.
Today and visiting this facility.
Oh, that's right.
And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
Jeez, she like opened it up. She's like, "Don't come to our country. This is one of the consequences. Good luck." And Marjorie Taylor Greene went. She might be under a little pressure, Jeff, because I think she went a little too crazy on this reporter. She went a little bit nuts. But watch this.
It was like the previous reporter.
No, this one she gets a little bit. She gets real hostile real fast. This escalates from 0 to 100 like that. But anyway, let's watch this. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yep. Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary?
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
The UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care. I don't.
Members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question? Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
God,
I was rough.
What it's come to that was pretty rough. But what happened? Like, what led up to it? There was something else that led.
Yeah,
up
I don't
to
know.
it
But what's
that
funny is
probably pissed her off.
the reporter says, "You're an American reporter," and he goes, "Yeah, I'd like you to answer her question." He's like, "Next." She's like, "Next." Like he's just. It got really escalated really fast. I'm like, "What are you thinking, man?"
I would love to know what happened right before that, but
because
she must have said something,
well,
and attacking her on the border, on something, and so she was coming back and said, but man, to just go after that, like, come on, we can't get, I mean, there's other people around the world, we got to get along with everybody at some point.
You have to, and I was debating whether I play this clip, but it has one of our favorite ex-politicians in it, and as soon as you see him, you'll know who I'm talking about, Jeff, because he used to represent me in Florida in my district, so I think you have a good idea. But he's on the second part of this clip, but he's got the greatest one-liner ever.
You live in a white country rather than your own country. You live in London there. Why do you live in a white country? I'm sorry?
It's not a white country because I want to tell people about Islam. And if I stay in a Muslim country, they're already Muslim. So there's no point of me telling them about Islam, right? So I have to be in a place where people are not Muslim, right? So if I'm in the UK, there is a lot of people who are from different religions, different faiths, where I can have a dialogue, because this is what I do, right? Interfaith, religious discourse, and all of that. So I engage with different people.
Could a Christian move to a Muslim country and freely and openly convert the people from Islam to Muslim? I mean, to Christian?
Well, ideally, under Islamic law, no, you're not allowed to, because Christianity is false while Islam is the truth. You don't allow these harmful ideologies to infiltrate into our people.
When tolerance becomes a one-way street,
that's our guy.
It leads to cultural suicide.
That's it.
When I am able to fly to Saudi Arabia with my Bible in hand, with my cross around my neck, to go to Mecca and go to a church, then guess what? We're good to go. But until that point, we have to understand the objectives and the goals that Islam has set forward.
So right here, I'll play it again because this is like so. This is the key statement right here.
Infiltrate into our people.
When tolerance becomes a one-way street, it leads to cultural suicide.
Boom. When it becomes a one-way,
right?
Yeah, it becomes a cultural suicide, right? And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene was going off about that a little bit ago.
Well, that was kind of, I think, there was so much more. We only saw a clip, and even Reborn said, yeah, there's definitely.
Well, of course, there's more to that. I mean, somebody just picked off one little clip. Who knows? But I was like, wow, that escalated quickly. Holy cow! Yep. Even that went a little.
I like this one from Lloyd. She was like, if you don't chew Big Red, then F you.
That too. She's like, listen. She's like, hi, I'm just. What country are you from? And she started going off on her. My God, what's going on? Mel is here. Hello, Mel's in the house. Man, wasn't that a good look at Mel's here? We got Chad is here. We are all at the cool. What was it, like 3 weeks ago now? Maybe it's 4 weeks ago. I don't know. Quantum Summit was awesome.
So quick.
It was a great time. Super excited.
How many do we have in the drawing?
We have 18, Jeff.
18. All right, we
18.
need a couple more, so I'm gonna run
3,
this.
2, 1. I'm gonna go
Guys,
3,
guys,
2,
hang on.
1.
You got 30 seconds. Hang on. Got to run this. Give people like 30.
What's the word of the day? Get your zombie wallet ready, because this one's gonna be time to claim your own legendary badass yetis on the blue side. This one from the clan, his name is Isaac. On the chain, Badass Yetis.
Let's go. All right, guys. We have 20. We're rolling it. You have a 1 in 20 chance. That's a pretty solid chance right there. Get your Zaman wallet ready. You know the drill. When the winner is chosen, you have to say, I'm here getting my wallet. There's no point to it. You've already won. Come on, Reborn John. You can't say it's rigged and you've already won. What will probably happen is, you know, that one that comes up right before the winner will be Reborn John. It'll be like, I won. Then click, and then another one. Man, I don't like the way they do that. I think it should be click, 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 and then just show the winner. Because that when it starts slowing down, you think, I won. And like, no, you didn't. So, the Cookie Monster rock. I love cookies. Badass Yeti. Here we go. Ready? Let's go.
Who wants a plumber? Here we go. Who's going to win? I've seen everyone come up.
Boom. Oh my
Oh my God.
What the hell, dude? For real? I'm like, what the hell? Holy God, it must be rigged. All right, it's rigged. We rigged it. Man.
God.
What did I know that was going to happen?
What are the chances of that one? The greatest part. What if Reborn left? How funny.
Where is it when he's there it is right there. There's prophecy.
Oh man, is he here?
Holy cow. I saw it come up early and I was like, man, there's no point to it. He's already won. Justin says rigged. Dude, I hit a button. You guys watch me watch. It's a third party. It's
oh my God.
Wow,
Shenanigans.
Dude. Man.
Johnny 10X is next. He's
Come on, Michael.
Next.
All right, let's see. You here? Holy cow. Reborn.
Oh, no.
You here? What would be even worse is he wins and he like bailed. I already won. I'm out.
What do you say on April 2nd? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, please tell us.
Reborn, give me how many numbers on the lottery? Can you give me like
Legendary.
6 numbers?
Legendary is supposed to win. Hey, I'm not the only one that said rigged. Come on, Justin. I think you won. Hey, you've won at least once, I think, right?
But now he's not even here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that's what it is. Oh, he already typed it. Oh my God.
You already put it in there. Thanks. Oh,
well, that's
God.
because you're like ahead of us. Like Osman said, he already invented the time machine. So you're like already like.
Yeah, he already had the wallet up there. He's already ready to go. I
wallet.
already won. Holy cow. Our reactions are the best. Oh, what the- jeez, that was like too much. Roll the tape.
Let's go check that out and see if that.
Reborn the rug master with an Irish goodbye. That's so funny. Time to investigate the wheel. We'll go investigate it. I'll give you the.
All right, now
Here.
I got to go into our chat.
There's where we go to. It's StreamYard is the software we use. So you can see it. There it is, giveaway. And that's what we do. And then if for some reason he's not there, we click the draw again button. But that's it. It's just pulls people in. It's a random thing, man.
The crazy thing is that I don't see his
You typed it before the draw? Yeah, we gotta find it. We'll type it again so we can find it because we gotta go into the other one.
John 10X said, let me hit the button next time.
You can hit the button all you want. I don't care. You hit the button.
I
all you
typed
want.
it before you draw. I'm looking. Okay.
Well, it could have been the beginning of the show. Who knows where that was?
That was too much.
Oh,
all right. I don't see. Where's the Zaman wallet?
Oh, there it is. Here, you put it
Zaman
again.
wallet.
You just put it again.
Oh, okay.
He goes, here you go. So look for here you go.
I see it.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Here you go. Here you go.
Here you go, yo.
I love it. I get what you're saying, people. I get what you're saying. Perfect.
Hang on.
All right. Yeah.
Trying to grab it. It's not being friendly. Oh. Everything's moving.
By the way, while you're doing that, Jeff, I'm going to put this up because this is interesting.
There we go.
I wanted
Finally
to
got
show
it.
this.
Here we
Look
go.
at this. DOGE reports every single day. So here's a day of work by DOGE. 577 million American last grants for 237 million in savings, including 10 million gender equity in the Mexican workplace. You paid 10 million for that job. 12.2 million for worker empowerment in South America. 6.25 million for improving respect for workers' rights in agricultural supply chains in Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. 5 million for elevating women's participation in the workplace in West Africa. 4.3 million for assisting foreign migrant workers.
Here we go.
3.5 million to enhance Social Security access and worker protections. 3 million for safe and inclusive work environments.
There we go. I'm sending it.
There you
I
go.
slid to accept. Hit the fingerprint. Here it comes. It's been submitted. Verifying.
There we go.
That's it. Submitted successfully.
So
that means that you're the proud owner of
people are always
getting number 6.
People are always whining like, "Hey, what is DOGE doing?" Meanwhile, they have a website. They put it up every day. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, this 12 hours ago. Yesterday, agencies terminated 113 wasteful contracts with a ceiling value of 4.7 billion, a savings of 3.3 billion, including 145K USDA consulting contract for Peru climate change activities. So you can see that their weekly credit card update pilot program with 16 agencies to audit unused, unneeded credit cards. After 5 weeks, 298,000 cards have been deactivated. As a reminder, the audit, there were 4.6 million active card accounts. So there's a lot more work to do. Up to 315,000 deactivated cards. Contract upgrade. Terminate 105 contracts with a ceiling value of 935 million and 580 million in savings, including 1 million National Science Foundation. See, this is like almost $1 billion.
It's crazy.
Fitness update. As a follow-on, there's a larger 32 million
No idea
purchase
what they are.
agreement for government-wide consulting and fitness centers. That's been canceled. Past 3 weeks, Social Security has been executing a major cleanup of the records. 7 million number holders, all listed 120 or older, have been marked as deceased. Another 5 million to go. Meanwhile, some poor couple who worked their entire life, who's trying to like put 2 pennies together to live, you know, and they did everything right. And meanwhile, you got people just ripping off the government left and right. And, you know, I remember my mom passed away in August and my dad got the letter right away. This Social Security's been terminated. You will not receive any money. As a matter of fact, you blah, blah, blah. It was like, yeah, okay. But meanwhile, you got 120-year-old people collecting, 300-year-old people collecting money. As of Friday, SBA now requires date of birth collection for all direct loan applicants, pauses direct loan process for those under 18 and above 120 years old. God, this is insane. Core HR systems, onboarding job histories, orgs, not consolidated in federal workforce from March 25, survey of 29 agencies, or 111 instances of 59 unique HR software products offered by 19 commercial vendors, 11 federal vendors. Price per employee are 3 to 10 times higher than in private industry. The major set of systems do not allow agencies to easily create or view a basic org chart. In other words, they're using antiquated garbage software and being charged 10 times the amount. Jeez, man. So anyway, it just goes and goes. You're talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars every single day. This account will put stuff out there, and it's amazing. And that's all we have, Jeff. That's all we have. That's all we have. That's right. Robbing us blind. And I've never seen why. How could somebody be so angry at Elon Musk, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would they be so angry at him that they, you know,
to burn shit down?
Yeah. I don't understand it.
Oh, I forgot to add the thing.
What is it? What thing?
Damn it. Forgot to add the thing.
You know, the thing, Jeff. What is the thing?
The Badass Yeti. Just posted it. Just posted it to the Xverse.
All right, so check this out. One last thing. One last movie here. I've got to show this because Speaking of the protesters,
Boom.
they're all paid protesters. They track their mobile phone and they go from place to place to place. That money's running out because they canceled all of it. But listen to this. They're asking them why they're protesting. Simple.
What's been cut?
I would rather not speak to any specific things.
There's, let me think.
What's been cut? Way too much.
The entire work of the CFPB has been stopped.
Big fan of Bill Clinton?
I think we're getting off topic here.
What's he got to do with this?
Well, he laid off 400,000 federal workers when he was in office.
Are you trying to suggest that the cuts that they're making to the federal workforce has a precedent in history?
Exactly.
Okay.
This man is a genius. A genius.
Trump ran on this. He won on this. Isn't this what democracy looks like?
He didn't run on this.
Trump actually didn't run on it. He didn't tell people what his plans were. Did he mention
he did.
DOGE? He mentioned
Why
DOGE.
voted for
I will
it?
create a government efficiency commission. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. They're cutting stuff, but it's not waste. It's stuff that we need.
Do you need Sesame Street in Iraq?
Yeah, we might.
I don't. What? Sorry?
All of this is a lie.
Do you support sending money to Sesame Street in Iraq? I guess
They don't
so.
even know.
What about the sex changes in Guatemala that we were sending $2 million to?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are they different than sex changes anywhere?
Well, it's not federally funded. Here.
You got me. I can't comment on that. I don't even know I'm paying for that.
That's why Elon's doing what he's doing.
Well,
He's helping you.
no, I don't know.
The music in the background makes it worthwhile. So the circus music. They don't even know, Jeff. They don't know. I can't believe he's cutting so much. Well, why don't you just go to the website, or why don't you just read a little bit for yourself and be semi-curious enough to go maybe take a look and say, huh, I wonder if we needed all that. Billions of dollars, right? Billions and billions and billions. Probably $1 trillion plus.
Crazy.
So there you go. I responded on X. See, he's already over on top of it.
He's already there.
Jeff, would you mind following me on X? I'm following Crypto Whelp.
How come I'm not following?
And how come? I don't know. That's
Oh,
the
I
weird
follow
thing is,
you.
I don't know. I'm following him. Just go to the, he commented, so you can go follow him from there.
There we go. Let's see. Logging into X.
I hate Trump because my TV told me to hate him. Right on,
You
Jeff.
go.
That's the only
to
reason
my
you
Crypto
have.
Whelp.
Look, it's Ducky McScrooge.
Oh, look at that. There you are.
You found
I'm
him.
not. I'm following you now. Look at
See,
that.
you're being followed. You're being stalked by Jeff.
Stalking you.
He's following you everywhere you go, man. That's how it works. Well,
We have
guys, that's
some-
all
we
the
have some
time we
guests coming
have.
up, don't we?
We
Chip?
do. Saturday morning. Is it this Saturday we have Panos?
I believe so.
I think it's this Saturday we have Panos.
Coming up soon.
And then on Sunday we have Dirk from Expector. So we've got an interview weekend coming up. Or is that next Wednesday? I think that's Wednesday.
It might be next Wednesday.
No, I think I'll have to go back and check. It might be. Man, I don't even know.
Losing track.
I don't
I've
even know.
lost
But anyway,
track.
what I do know is that's it. That's all we got, guys.
That's all we got here.
Are out of here.
All that
Chip
stuff.
and Jeff.
Look at this.
Ow!
Wait a minute. That's the other one. Look at that. That's pretty
cool as
awesome.
hell. I like that.
I love those guys.
I love that. I won't know who Reborn John is anymore, but I'll get used to it. I like it.
Don't know
It
who that
works.
is. Who's
It
that?
works for me.
Reborn John.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
He's a winner, chicken dinner. All right, guys, that's it.
Belgium.
Belgium
out.
out. Belgium
Pretty soon,
out.
everyone in
guys.
here is going to have a badass Yetis.
Yeah, pretty soon. Pretty soon it'll all be badasses. Be badass army. All right. That's all we have, guys. We will see you on the next one. Chip and Jeff.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.